Hey, and welcome back to the Road to the Great Canadian Open Winter 2026. My name is Clarence, and this is my video series as you follow me as I paint up my Brotherhood of the Banners Army 1 hour a day, 1 day at a time. The whole point of this series is for me to encourage other people to paint their armies up as well. It's really meant for new players and, I should say, new painters, and for people who've kind of lost the motivation to paint. I'm just trying to show new painters that if you pick a simple technique, you don't have to have a lot of skill or have a lot of knowledge. Slapchop is very user-friendly. There's a lot of shading for you. And the real key is just putting in time on a regular basis. And for experienced painters who know how to paint, a lot of us fall into this trap of like, I want to do it perfect, and painting things traditional with base coats and washes and highlights takes a lot of time, can be very overwhelming, and we don't end up starting because there's just so much work. So I suggest try Slapchop out. It's better to Slapchop an army than to leave it primed or in colored plastic forever. And I think a lot of us have these piles of shame that are in those states. So just take that 15 minutes a day, take that half an hour a day, and try it out, and see what the results are, because the results are better than not doing anything because there's too much work to do. So just ask yourself, whether you're a new painter or experienced painter, can you carve out 15 minutes to do one step here, one step there? Can you find little pockets of time to just grind away and just get a little bit done? It doesn't have to be every single day even, but as long as you're coming back to it on a regular basis every other day or something like that, you will see progress too. The second part of my preachy rant is my promotion of my event. So my event is coming up in the winter, January 10th and 11th, 2026, the Great Canadian Open, which is my A Song of Ice and Fire tournament, which is being hosted by the TGX event, the Gaming Expo, run by Lionel Miranda and X Planet Games. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a 32-player event over 2 days, 5 games, pretty standard song, lots of great prizes. And we're looking to try and get as many people to come out from our different areas as possible. So we're really looking at from the Greater Toronto area, looking at Kitchener-Waterloo, London, Windsor, North Bay, Sudbury, Barrie. We're looking at Kingston, Ottawa, Gatineau, Montreal, Quebec. But if you're from further out and you want to make it down, if you're from America, if you're from other provinces, do come out and take part. Links to the tickets are below. Please buy a ticket and come on down. It's going to be a great time. Don't wait too long because tickets have already started to sell and they will sell out at some point. With that, let's take a look at where we're at and where the next step is. Here is where we're picking up today. So last session we worked on, I think, the skin and the hair, and we did the bandanas and the things around the waist here. So we're almost done. I think that today we're going to focus on the swords. That's going to be painting the hilt and the pommel in gold, painting the handle in red, washing that with Agrax Earthshade, and we got the banner, and that'll be it. So it might be a very quick session, so we'll see you soon. 1 hour work starts now. Let's go. 30 minutes later, we are back, finished the gold details on the weapons and the red as well, and we also did the scabbard on the banner guy, which you can't see. So we painted the bulk of the scabbard with basilicum gray, just keep it nice and neutral. We painted all the handles and pommels in gold from AK, and then we washed it with Agrax Earthshade, and then we also put down a contrast layer of Bloody Nose Red on the handles themselves. I think I meant hilts. Hilts were gold. Pommels are gold, handles are Bloody Nose Red. So we're actually pretty much done. The only thing we have left is the details in the banner. So I think we'll do the top part in gold, bottom part, I think it's supposed to be a Stormcrow skull. We'll find out. And then the details here, so those are supposed to be Stormcrows. I guess we'll paint them in black. And then the lightning bolts, I don't know. I think a couple that might make sense is red, just to make it pop. Yeah, we'll go with red. Not sure why the lightning bolts are red, but it'll stand out against the yellow, and that's the reason why. So we'll come back, folks, with those last details done. See you soon. 10 minutes later, we are done painting the Bannerman, so ended up taking a close look at this base of the banner here, and we could figure out where the skull part was. So we did that with Skeleton Horde, and we painted the straps with Snakebite Leather. We then painted the actual Stormcrows on the banner with Black Templar Black, painted a Lightning Bolt with Blood Angels Red. We did the top weird orb thing here with our gold from AK, and then washed it with Agrex Earthshade. We also touched up some parts of the banner that we missed with some Wildwood as well. Now over here I can see that there's some white showing, so I could go back with yellow, though I also think that after I wash it with the burnt umber oil, that might fill that gap in anyway, though maybe we'll go back with yellow real quick. So that is 10 minutes of work, and the unit is now fully painted. I've got 20 minutes left, and I don't want to waste it, so I think in that 20 minutes, I'm going to try and paint up Lady Stoneheart, because she is mostly cloak, which will be pretty easy of contrasts, with a little bit of skin and a little bit of strap, so hopefully won't take more than 20 minutes. Now, it's funny because she's a very creepy figure, right, in the story. She's literally like an undead character brought back. She's dark, and I think painting her in green and yellow would be a bit weird, and I think of her as like Mistress Death, you know, so I kind of want to paint her in darker tones. And yet I still want her to tie to my army. So I think what I'm going to do is I feel like her clothes are broken up into 3 aspects. So she's got this dress. So I think the main part of her dress I'll paint in yellow. This bottom part here I'll paint in green. And then the cloaky part, which is the vast part of her back, I'll paint in either Basilicum Gray or Black Templar Black. Probably gray. I don't want to go full black. And then I'll do the fur trim with probably Wildwood. And then any of the belts and stuff I'll do with Snakebite Leather. And then her skin tone, I really don't know, because I think if I give her like a flesh tone, it'll be too lively. So, you know what? Why don't we come back after the clothes and we'll see how we'll do her hair. Oh, she's got hair showing. She had red, she was a redhead. We may just tone that down with some browns. So we'll come back after those base coats are done. About 20 minutes later, we are back, and we're put down all the major base coats. So the green's down on the bottom of the dress, yellow's down across the middle part, and then the Basilicum Gray is down across the cloak. The green is a Warplock green, the yellow is the Nazareth yellow I've been using forever to tie her to the rest of my army. Then her belt and all the fur is done in Snakebite Leather. I should have probably chosen Wildwood, but it's too late now. And then we did her hair with a mixture of Mephiston Red and Dryad Bark. We're going to wash that with Agrex Earthshade once it's dry, and all that's left is her skin tone. I kind of almost like her like this, but it's too pale. I'm just concerned that putting flesh tone on her will make her too lively, because she is supposed to be dead. So I wonder if I do a mix of Apothecary White mixed with the Crusader Flesh, just to make it kind of a watered down version. So we'll try that, we'll come back and see how it looks. So see you in a bit. And we are back a few minutes later, and we are done. So we did mix together Apothecary White and the Crusader Flesh, and we put it on, and it came out with kind of the perfect effect that I wanted. So her skin looks pretty similar to how it was before, but there's just a subtle hint of flesh to it while still being very pale and death-like. We ended up not putting Agrex Earthshade on her hair because the medium flowed onto it and kept it wet. I was worried that if I put it on, the Agrex Earthshade would flow into her skin. And honestly, after we put on the brown oil wash, it'll shade the hair anyway. So we are done for the day, folks. And yeah, a lot of progress. So we are finished our Stormcrow Mercenaries. We're finished one of our NCUs, which means our next session we can commit to painting our last 2 NCUs. And then we move on to the oil wash. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the painting series. Hopefully you're following along. Please let me know what you're working on. Please let me know how your progress has been. And we'll see you next time. So keep the faith. Bye-bye.